Good morning, Ming. How are you?
I'm fine, Enrique. Good morning. How are you?
Doing fine. Well, first of all, let me thank you for making time for this short update for our congregation. And I have three questions that I'm going to ask you this morning that I'm sure that will be helpful for 10th members to understand a little bit more about our outreach, our refugee outreach. So let's start with the first question. The first question is, can you share with 10th about our ministry to our refugee family?
Sure. First of all, I want to thank you, Enrique, um, for this opportunity to talk about it, but also to really thank you so much for your leadership of the committee, which has been so helpful. And I wanted to thank the volunteers. We have a wonderful group of volunteers who have been so committed to this ministry. 4 years ago, the Asukulus, a Congolese refugee family who had spent 17 years in refugee camps in Africa, were granted approval to come to the United States for resettlement. Bethany Christian Services reached out to 10th for help with resettling the family. And a group of interested 10th volunteers organized donations of household furnishings, household goods, clothing, non-perishable foods, some bicycles and toys, and bedding, and got the house ready for the family. And once they arrived, volunteers provided friendship, spiritual care, transportation to church, medical appointments, etc., and trips to the grocery store. We worked to make sure that the children were in good, safe schools, and we provided tutoring for schoolwork. It was a 10th member who facilitated the single parenting mother in getting a good job in environmental services at a local hospital, where she has been better able to support her 4 children. And we committed to supporting the children as a committee. We committed to supporting the children through high school. 2 of them are currently in high school at City School, and the youngest 2 will transition there in 9th grade. Through the efforts of 10th volunteers, the kids have come to 10th on a regular basis, a couple of them. They have attended 10th's summer day camp and Camp Sankanak.
That's great. Thank you so much, Mim. So how has the ministry continued to serve and minister to the family during this coronavirus crisis?
Mm-hmm. During the pandemic, we've continued to support them through regular check-in phone calls, contacts through social media, socially distant visits standing out front of the house, and we even had a Zoom birthday party where one of the volunteers had already delivered a cake and the rest of the volunteers and the family were on Zoom so that we could say happy birthday to all of them, but several of them have their birthdays in May. And the oldest brother is helping Dr. Allen be sure that the younger 2 boys get to their Zoom Sunday school class and continue with their scripture memory work. And we're monitoring household financial situation since the mom is not able to work any overtime.
Thank you. So how can 10th pray for the Asukulu family as well for the ministry?
Yeah, so the committee is really full of thanks to God that the mom has kept her job. She's been able to keep working during the pandemic, which has been a huge blessing, and she has remained healthy. It would be great if people would pray for overtime hours to again be available to her and for a full-time job to be open to her soon. We, of course, pray for the whole family to remain healthy. Please pray that the children would not get too discouraged with online schooling. That's about over now, but anyway, that they, I think they've kept up with their classwork, so that's a praise. Please pray that since pools and day camps are closed, we would be creative with some summer plans for the family to enjoy. There is a backyard barbecue planned and a possible visit to a backyard pool. And for the ministry, prayers would be for the volunteers to have wisdom in reaching out and supporting the family, and for us to be able to remain aware of their needs, and perhaps for a few more people to join us as volunteers.
Let me thank you, first of all, for all what you do for the Asukulu family, for your leadership and your commitment. And also, I want to thank all the volunteers as well as you for all they do weekly for the family. God bless you. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for this interview.